Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to share with you some facts about our mind. I particularly have interest talking about our mind because that is the area I speak more about. I am Ezekiel Ntesat. I am a motivational speaker, and like as I said, I speak particularly about mindset, but I also talk about purpose discovery, and I also encourage people to invest in themselves. Now, there are so many information we need to learn about our mind. There's so many knowledge we need to gain about our mind. And the reason is because, just as it is being commonly said, as a man thinketh, so is he. Whatever goes on in your mind is what produces a result. And in life, everybody wants to achieve one result or another. So if indeed you want to achieve result, then what it means is that you need to know a lot about how your mind works. Because whether we like it or not, the totality of our result comes from our mind. Let me say that again. Virtually everything we achieve in life, or even the ones we think is not achievement, for example, things like failure, which of course is an achievement, they are as a result of our mind. Well, you may say failure is an achievement. I'm not going to talk about that, but let me quickly say that there could be positive and negative achievement, and failure is one of those negative achievements. So let's go to the facts right now. Number one, the mind is the brain in action, which means that our mind is located in our brain. This is what Neurosciences says. They say that when our brain rather is working, then it means our mind has been put to use. They say, in terms of using the computer terminology, that the brain is like the hardware and the mind is like the software. Without the brain, the mind is never there. Without the mind, the brain is never used. So these two must always be together. Now, if we want to go a little bit deep, there are certain aspects of our mind that are not within the brain, but with the brain, we can always have access to those aspects of our mind. For example, the second fact will buttress that, which is the mind operates at 4 different levels. Our mind operates at the level of our consciousness, our subconsciousness, our unconsciousness, and our higher consciousness. The level of consciousness and subconsciousness is predominantly within the brain. Our unconsciousness exceeds the brain, as in it is not only within the brain. Our unconsciousness also works even within other parts of the body. Now, but the higher consciousness is outside the body and it is outside the brain. However, it is with the brain, the working of the brain, which is the mind, that we can indeed assess that aspect of our mind. Fact number 3, the subconscious mind runs our life and it uses about 90% of our entire brain resources. What this means is that the conscious mind uses just about 10% of the brain resources. And that's why we easily forget things, because forgetfulness is within the realm of the conscious mind. But the moment you have repeatedly done a thing for several times, and then that thing becomes part of you, it becomes natural. For example, the manner you brush your teeth. If you doubt it, take a look. The next person doesn't brush teeth the same way you do, but you are used to it. You brush it the same way every day. That is, it has left the place of your conscious mind, which should have been your habit when you started brushing maybe the first few days. But after several days, it becomes accustomed to you, it becomes natural. You don't think about where to brush, you don't think about how to hold the brush and all of these things. At that time, brushing your teeth has become subconscious. In other words, you can say unconscious. That means you don't think about it, you just go ahead to do it. Fact number 4, whatever our conscious mind believes is what our subconscious mind accepts as the truth. What this means is that our subconscious mind does not judge. Our subconscious mind does not differentiate between real and imagined. Whatever our conscious mind accepts and believes is what our subconscious mind receives. What it further means is that the decision of what is stored in our subconscious mind is made by our conscious mind. But in another day, we're going to look at this. But when this decision has been made and stored in our subconscious mind, there and then our subconscious mind begins to control our life using that particular decision. And fact number 5, which is the last we're going to look at today, you are not your mind. I am not my mind. You are not your mind. We are all spiritual beings. Our mind is a tool with which we can interact with both the physical and our spiritual realm. This is very simple. The Bible said God is a spirit, and it went further to say that God created us in his own image. And from all research that are available, the real essence of man, some deny it, but the truth about it is a lot accept that it is not this physical thing we are seeing called the body. It is not also our mind, because there is a level of operation within the mind that the mind itself cannot really understand. And lastly, which is not a fact but an affirmation I want us to make today, just say this after me. I am not my mind. I am a powerful spiritual being, and I have absolute control over my mind. You indeed have absolute control over your mind. You can control it, and that's the essence of what we are doing, learning about our mind so that we can begin to control our mind. And in doing so, we will now be able to decide our outcome in life. Thank you very much. If you want to know more about me, you can visit my website, www.ntesat.com. Ntesat is spelled N-T-E-S-A-T. Ntesat.com. Thank you very much.